Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now January 7th of 2022, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2, as well as The Bad Batch, a lot of Star Wars fans have really been thoroughly enjoying the Book of Boba Fett Chapters 1 and 2, and are already prepared for Chapter 3. Now, the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 2, The Tribes of Tatooine, really dived more into Boba Fett as a character, as well as other characters out there like the Tusken Raiders. I'll leave it at that. Now, of course, we already know that George, Jon, and Dave are working together as a team to really drive Star Wars in a better direction. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So we're now in a very interesting scenario, given that George, Jon, and Dave are dealing with over a dozen Star Wars projects, be it TV shows or movies, live action or animated, whatever it may be. They really are going all out with the new Star Wars universe by combining legends with the new. And what they're ultimately really trying to do is that they're really trying to regain many of the lost fans that walked away after the sequel trilogy, after Gina Carano got fired. A lot of those fans, those are the very ones that they're trying to bring back into the Star Wars world. And you know what? Like I've said before, it's going to take a lot of time and effort for them to really convince some of the fans out there that Star Wars is back on track and back in action. Now, one particular TV show that Jon Favreau is having a lot of trouble with and having a lot of issues with, we're going to be getting into that in just a second. But we already know that Favreau so far is moving along very smoothly with many of the projects like Ahsoka, Kenobi, as well as Mando Season 3, other TV shows out there that have yet to be announced that will be revealed at Celebration. Now, with that being said, of course, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on the new Star Wars TV shows like Star Wars Ahsoka and Kenobi, it's described that both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are beginning to focus on the new Star Wars projects that are set to be announced at Star Wars Celebration this year. However, it's described that behind the scenes, many new developments are beginning to brew for the future of Star Wars. However, it's noted that creator Jon Favreau recently ran into some trouble with the plans to reframe the Rangers of the New Republic series, which is planned to showcase the events just after the Battle of Andor. Now, Favreau is now looking into reviving the project into something brand new. However, it is described to be having issues with the new series and the direction of the story. Now, further, it's described that Favreau is finding a hard time discovering co-writers and directors that want to be a part of this project that will focus on key characters like Luke, Leia, and Han, all of which will be made possible through deepfakes and de-aging technology. So let me just stop right there for a second. One thing about the new series of Rangers, alright, the new version of it at least, is that it's been pretty much a botched series for the past couple of months now. I don't know if you guys recall, but ever since, the character of Cara Dune was booted from Mando Season 3, and ever since Gina Carano got fired from the Mandalorian series as a whole, that's right around when Rangers began to tumble, because that show originally was going to focus on Cara Dune as one of the main characters. Then it switched over to really focusing more so on some of the characters from Star Wars Rebels to appear as the main characters. That eventually fell apart. Now, basically what Favreau is trying to do is that he's trying to revive this project, because this is one that he was very passionate about, one that he has always wanted to explore, basically showing us just days, weeks, months, and leading up to one full year after the events of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. They really wanted to showcase the events just after the Empire's big defeat during the Battle of Andor, especially leading up to the Battle of Jakku, which we're going to be getting into in just a second. Now, moving beyond that, alright? Now, though the entire, of course, situation has been made pretty much possible through deepfakes and de-aging technology, through the entire show is not going to be about Luke, Leia, and Han. This is the very project that Favreau plans to use in order to reunite the three favorite characters from the original trilogy. Now further, however, Favreau is described to have a backup plan if this goes sour, and that he is in the early phase of implementing this also into The Mandalorian Season 4 for 2023 on Disney+. However, the Rangers TV show, Favreau is running into some issues with the Disney higher-ups that want to keep the budget on this very show very low, for the first season at least, as they are not quite sure if the fans will care enough for the series for an immediate post-Episode 6 based TV show. So, that's also another problem right now, is that the Disney higher-ups want to keep this budget pretty much very limited, very low, kind of just experimenting with this new timeline of Star Wars. Now, obviously, Favreau is negotiating with the higher-ups over at Disney. Hopefully they up the budget of this series in order to really make the deepfakes and the de-aging technology possible extensively for characters like Luke, Han, and Leia. However, Favreau does have a backup plan, alright? And we're going to be tapping into that right now. So, the thing about all of this is that additionally it's described that another reason why Favreau is having trouble with the series from moving into production is Dave Filoni is also very busy with other Star Wars TV shows for Disney+, such as the Ahsoka Tano series and another unannounced show that Dave Filoni will be writing with Favreau as well. Now, in case you guys have been unaware, Filoni was originally attached to Rangers. He was going to be working on this with Favreau. Eventually, when that fell apart, he focused more so on Ahsoka and other TV shows. Now, this is the one show that was also going to focus on the official defeat of the Empire during the Battle of Jakku, which took place roughly 1 year after the Battle of Andor. However, Favreau is now thinking of taking all of the story elements from the original scripts of the series and to place the highlights of the show in multiple new Star Wars TV shows, one of which involved a full-on scene where Luke Skywalker takes down a Star Destroyer on Jakku that was going to appear in Rangers. Now, that very scene, Favreau is looking into placing in another new show that has yet to be announced that will be unveiled at Celebration this year. Regardless, Favreau is trying to make the show work and to move into production by finding the proper talent to help him with the series as soon as possible. This is the one show that Favreau has wanted to do in the longest time and is very passionate about. So the thing about Rangers, alright, that I find to be so exciting is that it's not just about the Rangers, it's not just about the rebellion, it's not just about soldiers. It was also going to be about Luke, Han, and Leia making multiple appearances and reuniting for the first and very time under Disney's wing. Unfortunately, we never got to see that under Disney. We never got to see Luke, Han, and Leia reunite in the sequel trilogy, nor in any kind of Star Wars TV show at that. And I feel that's at minimum what we deserve, and that's exactly what Favreau believes the fans deserve, and that's exactly what he's going to do, you know, whether or not Rangers even happens, but he's going to do that in another TV show if this does not, you know, fall into place. Now, unfortunately, this TV show, if you guys want me to be very honest with you, I don't believe it's going to make its way into production, sadly, for multiple reasons. Number one, Dave Filoni is very busy. Number two, the budget is being capped. It's being very limited by Disney's higher-ups because they're very, you know, very on edge or not all that confident about the show really picking up and gaining the traction that it needs in order for the show to really become very popular. And number three is that this show was really going to be all about Cara Dune in the beginning, and that's exactly why a lot of fans were interested in it, is because it was really going to be about Cara Dune and her connection to General Leia Organa and how it was going to explore that entire avenue. Now what Favreau is trying to do is he's trying to reframe that, and honestly the reframing of the show sounds a whole lot more exciting than what we were originally going to get between Leia and Cara Dune. This sounds like it's more interesting, it sounds more engaging for the fans, but again, like I say, it's all about how they are going to promote this series, because Rangers, a lot of people believe it's fully cancelled, in which, yes, it is. The original concept is fully cancelled, but they're now trying to really pick up the pieces and bring it all back together. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
I know.